All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast. And for the fourth part of the show, we are now going to talk about Aaron Judge being named team captain for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic. So, Mark DeRosa, who is going to be the manager once again for the Team USA team, I said team twice, for Team USA, he made this, they had a little bit of a press conference with Judge, and they talked about him being named team captain. The previous team captain was Mike Trout, and I think when DeRosa found out that Judge had interest in playing in the World Baseball Classic because he hasn't done that, he asked Mike Trout, DeRosa did, and said, what do you think of Aaron Judge being the captain? And Trout said he's the guy. So Trout gave the blessing of that. And so Judge is going to be team captain. And look, I mean, Mike Trout, of course, he's first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, Judge is a first ballot Hall of Famer too. But Trout's been doing this longer than Judge. I mean, it's amazing. And Trout's gotten off to a good start this year, thankfully, and hopefully that continues. The Angels have gotten off to a good start. Want Mike Trout to continue to stay healthy and play well. But right now, when looking at the landscape, who is the best player to, be the captain of this team? And I think there's nobody better than Aaron Judge at this current moment in time. He's won 2 MVPs. The home run record in the American League he broke a few years ago now, hitting 62 home runs. He's the captain of the Yankees, who, I know a lot of people, dislike the Yankees. I understand that. But the Yankees are a global brand, and this is a global event, really with the World Baseball Classic. This brings a lot of, fans from different, parts of the world, different cultures. It is a great way for baseball to showcase, their talent internationally. And I think when talking about the USA team, I think this is a great decision for them to do this, because he is the best player in baseball. In my opinion. Now we'll see what happens when Ohtani returns to the pitching mound, how he does. But right now, Aaron Judge is the best player in the league. But of course, that'll always be a debate. But Ohtani's not playing for Team USA. He's gonna be playing for Japan. So that's we don't have to worry about that that debate. But yeah, and Judge, of course, is very gracious of this opportunity. He talked about the men and women that have fought for the U.S. and gave players the opportunity to play the game freely. It's all that. Said all the right things. Now, what was interesting is that, they asked him, were the Yankees aware of your decision? And he said no. Now, I don't think anybody should really make a big deal out of that. Because, had the Yankees have known, what were they going to say? No? Now, a couple of years ago, when the World Baseball Classic was held, Judge was coming off of the 62 home run season, and then, we had the contract stuff going on. So there was a lot going on for Aaron Judge. So now that that's behind him, now he's under contract, doesn't have to worry about that. Now he has the opportunity to play in this, and, let's see what he does. But I know there's going to be a lot of people out there. I know I saw a gif of, him dropping the ball in center field when there was a post of, him being named team captain. I get it. And I think this would be good for him because these are going to be big games. These games are playoff-like. So Judge goes out there and he plays well in these games. As a Yankee fan, you hope that, well, actually, this is going to happen next year. So let's hope that, this year he plays well in the postseason, he plays well in the WBC, and then he plays well again in the playoffs. That is, of course, if they make it. And, if they go on, if Team USA goes on a deep run, again, you hope he plays well. So, yeah, I was trying to say, because, again, I got the time mixed up, because he's World Baseball Classics next year, so we're going to have the postseason this year. That is, of course, if the Yankees make it. I want to see Judge play well in these big games, because, it's been tough at times. And, I think he receives a lot of heat, and rightfully so, because, again, he plays for the Yankees, but he's one of the most humble players, one of the most humble athletes in all of sports. And he's a guy that I don't think deserves the criticism. But, yeah, look, he dropped the ball in center field in the World Series. I get it, But I was not going to turn my back on him after that. Was I very upset in the moment? Absolutely I was. Like I've told you guys many times, I was in this very room when... Well, I wasn't in this room when he dropped the ball. I was downstairs. But I was in this very room when the lead was gone in the 5th inning of Game 5 of the World Series. So the tournament, actually back to the WBC, the tournament will take place in San Juan, Tokyo, Houston, and Miami, with the semifinals and finals held in Miami. And I would love to see that stadium filled, for the Marlins, because the only time you really see it is for an All-Star game or the WBC. Team USA will be in Pool B, which will play in Houston. Judge is focused on leading Team USA to its second ever WBC title, hoping to bring home the gold for the first time since 2017. He believes Team USA will have a strong lineup and bullpen with plenty of exciting young talent, eager to represent the country. And actually, I wanted to go to what exactly Judge said on being named team captain. Something special, getting a chance to represent our country. I was just thinking about all the brave men and women that have fought for this country and laid their lives down for us. To get a chance to go out here and play a game, it's pretty humbling. And actually, so he is the... at the time, Judge felt he should be with the Yankees, who are just... Oh, wait, actually, yeah, no, he was named the first team captain of the Yankees since Derek Jeter. We knew that. I thought it was the first time a Yankees been named team captain for Team USA since Jeter. Because I don't know, was Jeter ever team captain for USA? I mean, I feel like he should have been, but I don't know. Again, not 100% sure on that. But yeah, so DeRosa did call Mike Trout about the idea, and yeah, Trout just said he should be. Aaron Boone said, I think Judge is the perfect face to be the captain of Team USA. In a lot of ways, he's certainly one of the faces of baseball. That's a big reason why, we've said that. Such a magnetic personality that people gravitate to, that people around the game love and respect. I think he'll be great. Judge said he hopes Trout will return to play in the 2026 WBC. Judge said he better be out there patrolling the outfield with me, but he doesn't plan to actively recruit other talent. He probably won't need to. So, we'll see. Judge said you have a bunch of guys that compete against each other all year long, and now to bring us all together, it's going to be something special. We play this game for such a small amount of time, so to get an opportunity like this, I think guys will really gravitate towards it. I feel like Mark DeRosa, had the recipe in 2023 to get into the championship. They had great pitching, great bullpen, and pitching staff. I think we can add a couple of new pieces with a lot of young players in this game that are exciting and definitely want to represent their country. I think this team is going to be on a mission. So, yeah, no, but we got to wait a little bit. It'll be held next year, but yeah, no, it's exciting. It's exciting what's to come here. But let me know what you guys think, though, about Judge being named the team captain for the WBC. Again, hope he plays well, because obviously, if he doesn't, people on social media are, of course, going to have something to say, because that's what they do. That's what they do. But Team USA is going to be good. Japan is going to be good, of course. So, and that's what the finals were a couple of years ago. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But Aaron Judge, Congratulations being named team captain of the USA team. The right guy for it. So when we come back from our final break of the show, we will talk about football a little bit. We will do the post-free agency rankings for the AFC East. So the first AFC division that we will cover here. And that will take us right to the end of the show for today. So, for one final time today, make sure to stick around. And we'll be right back here on the GSMC Sports Podcast.